Hey guys, stay tuned. I'm going to show you how I made this creative, sassy card. I think it's pretty funny. So stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode. So I'm going to try a different technique that I've never have tried yet. I've seen some videos about this, so I wanted to try it. It's the smush technique, I think they call it. You take a piece of acetate or any kind of thin piece of plastic like this, and you take some really wet ink and you just smush it on the paper. So it's like a really quick, fast way to make cards without having to color in your stamps. And I just want to make a funny stamp here. I've already cut down a piece and I used watercolor paper. And I'm going to use the smoother side of it. And I use the Canson's watercolor paper. I mean, there is a better one out there. It's called Bristol, and I do recommend it too, but I get this at my local Walmart for like $5 and you get 30 sheets. The Bristol paper is more expensive, but it does better with like alcohol markers. But for this project, you can use the cheap watercolor paper and it works great. So what we'll do is, I think I'm going to use this stamp here. I love these Delusions stamps by Ranger. They're so funny. They're kind of cocky, but they're funny. I like this one. As long as everything is exactly the way I want it, I'm totally flexible. Now, these ones don't already have the writing on top there, which I kind of wish they did, but it's okay. So we're going to use that one. I have my Stampers Anonymous by Tim Holtz, the hipster stamp set. And I'm going to use this one here. And I think I'm going to use that little saying there. Now, what I love about having a stamp press or stamp tool or whatever you want to call these is you get to kind of set up how you want it to be before you stamp and take the chance. There are a couple of these out here on the market. I think the Tim Holtz is supposed to be coming out very soon, or if it hasn't already. I haven't really checked up on that for a while. But I really am thinking about buying his. But this one I got on eBay for like $18. They're very scarce because these got pulled off the market. So it'd probably be hard for you to find one now. I was just lucky enough to find one on eBay for $18. Because the Misties are pretty expensive for the exact same thing that this thing does. So we're going to do this orientation like this. And let's put the stamp right about here, because we want to put this up here, and I figure I'll put it like that, kind of sideways, so it's kind of like saying out of her mouth. So I kind of like that technique. And actually I see I'm messed up. See, when you use the red rubber stamps with the foam, you don't need your foam insert in here. I forgot about that. And you can still use it, but you run the risk of maybe smudging your ink a little bit. So I was like adding plenty of these so it doesn't pull up the paper. Okay. So we'll ink up, and I'm using my Spellbinders Celebrations Blackberry. I love this ink. It's a hybrid ink, and it just works very well. It doesn't run, it doesn't smudge, and it works. I have tried other ones like the Mementos. A lot of people like that one. I wasn't as impressed with it as I have been with this one. It does work well. I'm not trying to dog it or anything. But this stuff is like almost instantly dry and ready to go. And what I love about having a stamp tool like this, you can get a couple impressions and everything is in the exact same spot. I like to get good dark lines. There we go. So now we'll pull this out. I always keep some baby wipes handy. I always like to at least try to get some of the excess ink off my stamps. They don't have to be perfectly clean. You do want to leave a little bit of ink on them just so it keeps them seasoned. But you don't want it to gum up the little details either. Okay, so now we have this. And now the next technique, this is kind of a big piece. I'm going to cut that down. And what you're supposed to be able to do, which I'm not sure what colors I've got here. I'm going to use my Distress Oxides because I love these inks. Tim Holtz just recently announced more colors just this past week, which was in July, coming out in July of 2017. I'm going to say January for a minute. So I'm not sure. I think I really kind of want the warm lipstick, definitely. Some Broken China, and how about some Wild Violet? Yeah. So these three colors that we're going to use, and I'm going to try to layer them. And so I'm going to speed this up because I'm going to try to dry in between the layers. And I don't want it to take forever to do the video because research has shown that most people don't like to watch long videos beyond 15 to 20 minutes. So I try to keep my videos as close to the 20-minute mark as possible. Sometimes it's hard to do. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to do a little different than what I have seen in videos. I'm going to apply the, let's do with the lightest first. I'm going to apply it directly to my craft paper here, or craft mat. And we're going to wet it down. I want quite a bit of water for this. And I'm going to layer it this way. I'm actually going to smush it on. Then I'm going to dry in between. Like I said, I'm going to speed this up and cut out the audio so you don't have to hear this thing going. But I love this Wagner heat tool. It's amazing. Okay, so now this is what it turned out to be. I love the Distress inks. Look at that. Look how well it layers and it doesn't muddy. And you can see all the colors even through it. Just love it. So now, one last thing I'm going to try. This is the new stuff I've got. It's by Fun Stamper's Journey. And it comes in, looks like a fingernail polish bottle. And there's a little BB in there, or metal ball. Mix it up. And look at that stuff. This stuff's amazing because it works better than the misting, like Tattered Angels shimmer spray, because that like coats the whole paper. This stuff is amazing because after it even dries, it has like a metallic plus sparkle look. So it's just really cool. I've never seen something like this before. Highly recommend it. I will have a link in my description to this one here. And Ken Hess is the guy that will be like your journey coach, and he gets, I think, a small commission. So definitely help him out too. I love this stuff. So just mix it up really well. And see, he has a little brush in there, and all you do is flick it. I like the splatter look. If you get closer, you can make bigger drops. Farther away, the smaller they are. And this stuff, I believe, is water-based, so it also reacts with the ink a little bit. So we're going to let that dry. We'll wipe up our mat here. It does get a little everywhere. It gets on your hands pretty good, but hey, who doesn't like a little sparkle in their life? So now we'll hit it with the heat gun one more time here, just to dry it a little quicker. And as you can see, See how it has that metallic look in the light? It's just amazing. But in person too, if you look at it one way, it's just sparkles. And the other way, it has that metallic, like the whole drop is metallic. Just very cool. I love this stuff. It's, like I said, it looks so much better in person. So I highly recommend it. And like I said, there's a description, link in my description there for that. So now we have the base done, the card top, I guess, not base done. And so another thing you could do, which I'm going to do another series like this stamp, I'm going to do a couple different techniques. This one was done where we stamp first, then put the ink on top. And yeah, it does kind of, you know, mute your ink lines and stuff, which is fine. I like that. The next card I'll do in another later video, I'll do the background first, then we'll stamp on top of it. And we're also, after you get done, you can seal this, which has microglaze, which I'll have that in the link in the description. It's by Ranger Tim Holtz. And therefore, once you seal it with that microglaze, it's water resistant, 100% water resistant, and you'll never worry about your background getting ruined again. So I'll have a link to that. And in the next video, I'll show you how that works too. All right, so now we'll attach it to the card base here. So I usually like white card bases, but the place I usually buy these at were out. So I have like a manila here, which is not my favorite, but got to use what we got. Get my ETG gun here. Love this thing. Because the reason why I like using really strong adhesive, because the thing about watercolor paper, or actually any kind of paper, it will wilt and warp when you put water on it or anything like that. So you want a really good adhesive to hold this down. And there you go. Isn't that really cool? Now we'll do the inside sentiment next here, but I just want to show you guys. And I just, like I said, I can't get over how well these Distress Oxide inks are. I was on the fence big time when they first announced them. I'm like, why you need those? I've already got Distress inks, but these are totally different than the Distress inks on how they react to water and on the paper. And same thing with this Sparkle Silk they have from the Fun Stamper's Journey. It doesn't rub off after it's dry. They won't smudge those droplets using it. Like, you know, I use the heat set. You don't have to. I'm just not a very patient person, so I like using my heat gun. But yeah, you do get some sparkles on your hand, but it doesn't smear on the paper once when it's dry. That's what I love about this stuff. And it maintains its metallic look. It's just so cool. I just can't get over how that metallic is. And like I said, in certain ways it's just sparkle, and the other ways it's metallic. Really cool stuff. So let's finish up our inside sentiment and finish this card up. So I've been trying to think here what one I would like. I'm really liking this one. Oh, really? You know what that sounds like? Not my problem. I know some people would probably think, oh, these are really rude cards, but this would be a fun card to send to one of your very best friends that really knows you and knows your personality. Because that's a lot like my personality. I'm not a rude person at all, but if I am very best friends with you and really comfortable with you, I kind of have this demeanor, I guess. You know, I like joking around. So we'll put this in. Once again, since we're using the red rubber stamps with the foam tops, you don't need your insert. And remember, this is the front and right side up, but we're going to turn it. Okay. Pick our stamp up. Like I said, I love these stamp sets. I like having a little sass to a card once in a while. Really glad they did these stamps. I just love Ranger products, which are essentially Tim Holtz products. I mean, he's just a designer for them. They really have some nice products that are just really cool. And I really do recommend. So there we go. Just really love it. Like I said, I like a little sass to my cards once in a while. Great card to send to your best friends. I think they'd really like it. So, as always, you guys, thanks for watching. And if you haven't already, hit the big red subscribe button. Next to the subscribe button is a little bell. And that will give you notifications for every time I post a video if you click that. Also, too, I want to encourage you to check out my descriptions. Also, look at the link once again for this Fun Stamper's Journey Sparkle Silk. I highly recommend this stuff. You will not be disappointed. And also, too, there's some other fun links to people I'd like to support in my link descriptions, and also links to my social media. And reach out to me on there if you like, and I'll try to answer you back. And once again, you guys, I really appreciate your viewership and support. I love doing these videos. I'm glad that I can show my tips and help you guys on your journey of creativity. Thanks. Bye, you guys.